All right. Good evening, everybody. I am Steve Kimbrough, a.k.a. the PodBrother, and welcome to Stick with the PodBrother show. I am here with Michael Pena.
Hey, how you doing? How's you doing
Mr.
today?
Pineapple.
That'd be me.
What's happening?
I've been stuttering a lot.
I should have sent it to camera. Oops, I'm sorry. I pulled your earbuds out. Let
okay.
me just slide over here. And
it's only my
slide
ear.
that way a little bit more.
Okay.
So you're center.
Okay.
All right, there we go. We're good. We're recording. We're live here on Facebook. We're live here, or we're recording, and you're on Instagram, right?
Yeah, on Instagram.
Okay, so we got three things going.
Okay, here we go.
How you doing, Instagram people? For Mike's Instagram. What's up, Mike? What's your Instagram? Is Pena?
My Instagram is get your man straight.
Get your man straight. Okay. I think there's a story behind that.
There's a big story behind that.
But we're at the El Picollo Verde here in Brentwood, and we're going to be doing open mic every Sunday, 9 o'clock, and we want to turn this into a party. So this is a chance for us to launch that event. So we want everyone to come down and support. We're going to have guests that's going to come on and be on the podcast. We're going to talk about stuff, and then we're going to roll right into the open mic, and then you're going to be taped on the open mic. And those people who want to purchase it for $5 can. If not, then that's all good too.
$5 is pretty cheap.
It is cheap. That's very cheap. I was going to do it for free, but after my last open mic experience, I'm going to charge these bastards. Let them understand.
Some people don't respect.
They don't have no respect.
They have no RESPECT.
If you would just be cool, but now you get on my stage and my lights, my camera, my mic, and you want that clip, you got to pay me $5 for it.
But we're positive here.
We're two old dudes, man. We are two old dudes. Been around the corner. We're long in the tooth, kink. And
I would say we've been around the block, but I know I've been around the block, so I'm not going to say it.
Your block is a pink block. My block is a blue block.
That's true. That's very true.
It all depends on what block you live on, and what's around the corner in that block.
That's very, very true.
But they were cool enough to bring us out some really
cool samples.
Do
you want to see these dishes? Let's look at these things.
We always have to plug the venue, because let's leave it over there. I got a camera already.
Oh, you got a camera over there?
We're going to go over there.
Okay.
And we're going to check.
The camera is not on it, though. Do you want me to grab it?
It's a switcher. I'm going to switch over.
Oh, you're going to switch.
We're talking now. So the camera's on us while we're talking, and then we're going to get sexy, and I'll switch over.
Okay. Do you want me to bring it over?
No, we're going to go over there.
Okay.
This is a comedy routine right now. You want to go over? No, I'm going to switch over. Should we bring it over here? No, I'm going to switch over.
You have to figure out who's the straight man. It's a contest.
That's hysterical. Because I'm the straight man in life. You're the straight man in comedy.
That's the oxymoron about my life.
That was funny. That was very funny. Who's the straight man? We both go, I am. So we're here at the El Picollo Verde, and they have amazing food. They have high ratings on their food. By the way.
It's Zantag or Zantag. I forget what it's called. In order to get that rating, you have to be special.
You got to be special. You got to be good.
Yeah.
You got to have eye-pan coordination in the kitchen to get the what's the award called? The desserty or
no? It's Zantag. Is it Zantag? Zantag.
Okay.
It's Zantag. What is it right there on the door? Zagat. No.
Zagat.
On the door. Look on the bottom part of the door.
I can't see it.
If you have a Zagat rating, then you're damn good.
Good. Okay. El Picollo Verde has a Zag rating. So let's go over here and check out these samples. I don't think your headphone's going to reach that far.
So that's why I said, want me to lift it?
No, we're going to walk over there. We're going
to walk over there. Yes. Oh my God!
Just make sure your umbilical cord and, or you can switch mics if that one doesn't reach.
Okay, so here we are. We're going to be checking out some of this grub that they gave us, and this grub looks really good. So I'll just let each one individually look at it. And I don't know which one I like best.
You're standing in front of the camera, bro.
Oh. That explains it.
All right, so this looks good, and this looks good, and so this looks like some clams on the shell. This looks like some kind of like garlic bread with like a clam shell. That's good. I'm from New York. I know Italian. They put their foot all up in this. They put an Italian foot all up in this food. It's really good. Wow. I know it's not cool to double dip, but
it's for you. All you, my friend.
Are you gonna have some of this?
No. I'm not into clammy stuff.
Okay. So you get to sit and watch me eat?
Yeah.
Okay. Mike, can you swing that camera around to this? And yeah, it just should just pivot.
So we're trying to enjoy some of this food here.
That's good, right there. Perfect. And I'll swing it back over here. Okay. And we'll drop this down just a little bit. Now, so everything's still recording. So what's going on here is you want to have a seat, grab that chair and pull it there so you're comfortable, because we're going to be here for a second. I hate to talk and eat, but you got to undo that so you can get a little bit more umbilical cord going. All right. Wow, look at this.
So this I can eat.
Now we're jamming. Now cooking with Crisco.
Now this stuff on this table spell only one thing.
Calories.
Yum. Okay, I don't care about the calories. I'm not counting calories right now. I'm calling yum, okay? Look at those little round things. I got this.
This is really good. So this is what you can expect when you come to El Piccolo Verde is some 5-star killer Italian cuisine, and I'm telling you, and these aren't paper napkins either. These are real cotton linen napkins, so you know the place has class and elegancy and sophistication as I dig into this food with my fingers.
Well, I have a lot of class too, but I eat like I'm in low class. There we go. If I could eat some of those scallops, I would, but I'm not. I'm going to eat some of these pizzas.
Mm-hmm. That's a good idea. Like this. So, this I should have the chef kind of describe it. This looks like it's got this is
it's caprese
with some tomato slices, and then there's a little bit like this is like a cottage cheese kind of mix on the top.
That's a caprese.
Caprese?
Caprese. And actually, when you look at this caprese, it's very flavorful, has rich color, and more importantly, try that white sauce. What'd you think about that?
The white sauce is amazing. It's incredible.
It's a nice cheese. That's what adds to the caprese. And right here, I got this pizza. It's got some pepperoni, and I don't know what this is, but it's little pepperonis.
I think it's sausage.
Oh, yeah. Very good pizza. I think that you hit a winner on this one.
Look at that. Wow.
This is definitely one of those meals that I'll always remember to come back to eat. These are definitely one of those meals. You know what I like about this is when I look at the caprese. Now I like caprese. You know, I think we'll have a little bit of it. I'm trying to watch my girlish figure, but not really.
It's really, really good. A little bit of olive oil on there too. That it's like butter. Man. This is like incredible.
So that's what is this called?
This is like
it's clams,
baby neck clams, I believe, and
some shrimp,
and it looks like calamari and shrimp. I think it's like calamari, mussels, clams, and a little bit of shrimp, and a tomato sauce with the garlic bread.
So I think that would be with their seafood platter. I would call it a seafood platter. Giappina?
Giappino.
Okay. And is that what it is in Italian? So that's a Giappino. And like I said, it does have a Zagat rating. And the Zagat rating is pretty high. And I know that it deserves it.
I'm in heaven right now. This is amazing.
So let's talk about your comedy.
Okay, so what happens is when you come down to comedy, you should come down a little bit early, get your table, order some dinner, get your drinks all dialed in. So what we're going to do is we're going to interview some of our guests. We might have some comedian special guests, some comedian celebrities, maybe some directors, writers, actors, and we're going to, while you're having dinner, we're going to do the interviews. And then when you're finishing up dinner, and as we finish up the interviews for the podcast, Stick with the PodBrother podcast, then we're going to roll into the dining room for the My Laughers open mic. And we're going to shoot that against the green screen. And we're going to have a really cool, sexy background with the El Verde logo on it. So you'll be performing in front of like the proverbial brick wall or curtain, if you will. And you get 5 minutes. And you do your time, and if you want to keep the tape, because we'll turn the tape on and we'll capture it, and so you can upload it to your social media or upload it to your,
Or just watch yourself.
Or just watch yourself and learn.
Yeah,
because that's how you learn.
That's how you learn. I mean, we practiced the sessions.
On the other side,
we practiced these sessions, and honestly, when I got up there and I saw myself acting out the jokes, and it is
quite a
great.
few things you saw you wanted to fix.
Oh yes, I wanted to fix. I wanted to change, and I knew I needed to get a haircut. I knew all these things happened by watching myself.
So it's good to have your spot. It's good to have your clip. But the audience is going to be excited about it because they get a chance to see comedians developing material for the first time, and they're here to witness it. So you can be part of the supporting culture of stand-up comedians as they're developing new material on the spot. In real time. That's exciting. That's cool.
Remember that was fascinating the last time. The first time we did this in public is we had some comedians go up there and they were saying some jokes, and the audience actually started participating and helping. They weren't heckling. They were actually helping the person write the joke a little bit better. And that was such a great, powerful technique that the people in the audience could actually contribute to the joke telling. It was actually a really great experience.
Yeah, because we opened it up for if the open micer wanted it.
Yep.
And one actually took us up on it, where if they want to ask the audience how they can make that material better.
You didn't realize because you're in the heat of doing taking care of the show, but several people, in fact, four people asked for audience participation.
I was technical directing, so I missed a lot of the action. But it was really cool because people in the audience and our guest, we had Lana Turner on.
Yeah, Lana Turner's amazing guest, by the way.
She was so awesome, and she gave some open micers some tips about some do's and don'ts in the industry and some experiences. Yep. So it's good to come down and develop new material to get your stage time, but also to be open enough and humble enough to inquire on how you can make your bit better.
Yeah, I was thinking about this. If you don't mind, so I'm doing a movie, right? I'm doing a movie with Ed Asner and some are famous people. Raphael Zelinsky is the director. And we're doing a movie, and perhaps we can get him to come join us one day and talk about the movie. And the movie's an exciting movie. We're filming it in June. So I think it'll be a great opportunity to really get the audience involved in understanding what filmmaking's like. And what does it mean to see the beginning stages of a film that hasn't, it's been written. They're doing the edits in terms of the scripts, and we're doing our filler-ins. We're casting our other actors in the movie, which got some great actors coming up so far. But so far, Ed's in it, and I love him in Up. I love him in Up. It was an amazing movie and made me laugh. He was like the grandfather of the Generation Z. That's what I call him. But you know what? He's such an amazing actor. He's been around for 50 years. I mean, remember he was on Mary Tyler Moore's show. He was on. Oh my gosh, there's so many shows in the 60s and 70s and 80s. I think every generation we've seen a version of Ed do something pretty awesome. He's won many Emmys. So I'm excited about doing this show with him. Maybe we can get him to come up and talk with us.
That would be awesome. I'll let you work that because you got the end. You're my hookup on that.
So far.
You're the executive producer of the movie, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So of course you got the hookup. So I think Mike might be able to strong arm Ed into coming on and sitting down.
I don't know about that. I'm only one person. He's actually, the fact that this movie is a passion project for him. It talks about prejudice, hate in America. It's actually an amazing movie for this time right now. What's going on, and it kind of brings up the question: why? Like, why? What are we doing? What's the value of this? So I think it's kind of, I'm really looking forward to get to the festivals, and we're hoping that we could get a Sundance bid, hoping that people would like it and take it further. So anyway.
Well, his film Up did very, very well in Cannes a few years ago.
Yes, it did.
That screening was a sold-out screening. I actually got tickets for it, and it was a hard ticket to get.
Yes.
Very hard ticket to get. The theater was, and we're talking the Palais in Cannes, which is like 6,000 seats. So that's like, we're not talking like some small Hollywood theater. We're talking the Palais and the Cannes Film Festival, all 6,000 seats. And I think they even did a couple of encore screenings of that film.
Yeah.
So it did very well. It was nominated for a few awards as well.
You know what's amazing about that film is that when I saw his picture, instantly I was like, why does he look familiar? Then when I heard the voice, I was like, oh my gosh, that's Ed Asner. But what's so amazing about it was that they took that character and made it him and made him live. And again, the movie started off with such good compassion and such good heart feel that, it just started the movie off with a bang. And then it continued out and told a really interesting story. And I think that's kind of what is special about the film. So I'm looking forward to the next film because we actually can control some of the things that we want to talk about in the movie and in bringing them to current times. So I think that'll be exciting.
And the fundraising that you're doing is it's like a 5 or 6 slate film fundraising project. So
what we wanted to do was take a different approach. We thought it'd be great to actually fundraise. We got the movie fund. We got 5 films funded, but we decided we're going to take an approach so that people can partake into the whole experience, into filmmaking and to being part of the whole experience. So what we're doing is we're allowing people to crowdfund and actually donate a certain amount of money to be able to own part of the film. We just thought that filmmaking with the new digital era is changing a lot of things about filmmaking. And we thought, what a more fun way to do this. Somebody who happened to be head of SAG is actually in the movie. Someone who understands filmmaking from from 50 years of filmmaking. We thought it'd be great to be in a project in which we're letting the audience participate by owning some of the film. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're doing with our new product.
That's awesome.
So we're excited.
That's very cool.
Yep.
So the first step now is to put together like a crowdfund campaign, a package, perks. What are some of the perks? You get tickets to the movie. You get red carpet.
If you do, we're going to do Indiegogo. And on Indiegogo, you can actually get certain perks: T-shirts, being part of the screenings, etc. But if you do, the people who decide to go the route of actually physically raising capital for the film, they actually will get a percentage of the sale when it sells. Mm-hmm. So it's a bigger investment. At the same token, it's a great experience. Indiegogo, it's like, you know what? We feel the movie has some great potential with reaching out to about some good causes and what's happening today. And so it'd be great to be part of that package.
So if you're part of a society that has access to a group of people who have deep pockets and they're passionate on that issue that's in the movie, and they actually want to invest some money and actually be a part of making some points on it, then they can go into the mattress, pull out bricks of money, throw it on the film.
This is the thing about that. We want deep pockets, but sometimes deep pockets steer the movie in a way you don't want. So what we want is both. We want to have a nice mix between people who have the capital and they want to be able to invest in something amazing, but then we also want the people who just want to be part of the experience. That's the movie fundraising component that we really want. I mean, we want both, but one is easier, right? Get a lot of money, just sit back, make the film. But does that make the film an experience? No, I think we want both. I want to be able to get the people who just got $20, $50, $100.
You got $20?
$5, $1. Okay, those guys to get involved so they can feel like they have something passionate with this movie. So that's the whole strategy with that.
Awesome. Well, that's cool. So you have a timetable as far as production?
Yes.
Post-production, film festival circuit. What's your timetable?
Well,
and we know it's subject to change, so
yeah.
We're not going to hold you to that.
We're being aggressive on this.
Yo, man, I put $5 on the film. You say the film's going to be up in 2 weeks, man. It's been 6 months. What's up?
So the amazing thing about that, for the less than a movie ticket, you can actually get part of the whole experience. And also, what we're trying to do is we're going to be shooting in June. So we're going to have a couple months of post-production. So it's going to take us literally 2 to 3 weeks to film the whole film. Okay, this is a 90-minute film. Then we're going to, because we have it all blocked out, we have it laid out, we got it like a machine. The new technology, we can do that, right? We're doing it under budget because we already know what the budget is. We know that we can meet it. 2 weeks film, 3 weeks max. And we did this in the beginning of summer because there's some young folks in this movie who will just be getting out of high school, so they're just graduating. We have another young person who's they're middle school, getting a little bit older. So that'll be great for them. So we want them to be done with school, so that way they can, concentrate on making the film. And then we believe that it'll take us 2 months to get into production, so we could submit it to Sundance. And by middle of September, it'll have its rough draft ready to produce and submit. And then we'll find out in December whether Sundance takes us. That's the strategy.
That's a good strategy.
Yeah. First film on this sequence. So we have 4 more films that we already laid up. We have the script for the second one already done. We're doing some final edits on it. We're going to be looking and scoping out the actor for that component and actress for that one. Right now, we do have Ed Asner casted for this one. And then we're going to go ahead and move forward and get an actress, high school age actress, and a little bit older young man who's going to be part of the movie as well.
Now, are you going to be in the movie, or are you pretty much going to be staying behind the scenes? Because I know you had a couple of ideas that I think would be really cool to have in this film. Maybe like some parkour, like chase scenes or something. But are you going to be, how involved are you going to be on the front side of the film?
This particular one, I'm just going to be investing my time in helping raise the money and bringing the film together so it can come to realize. Then we'll go from there. I really... On this particular project, I thought it'd be fun just to really be the machine, help get the things going so that the actors can be free to do what they need to do, so that the participants, the people, the movie, people who are watching the film, they can actually say, I have part of this film. So that's what I think would be more exciting. So that's how I'm participating this time.
Is there a part for the PodBrother in there somewhere? I was going to push to try to get something. That's how we do in the hood. Yo, man, I want to park cars for the film. Something.
Well, there's a casting director for that. I'm the wrong person. You got to let your experienced people do the job. Right. And you just sit back and just nod your head and say, good job, good job. And when they don't do it right, you just sit back, nod your head and say, great job, great job. And then you hope karma takes you to the right place. So... Anyways, let's talk about this experience with this talk show, with this, your PodBrother. Now, let's talk about you a little bit. I know you've come from New York, and you told a lot of jokes in New York, and you traveled all over the country, and you actually did a cruise ship for a long time. So tell us a little bit about your goals now.
My goal is to rock this Italian food right now because it's so damn good. I started off as being a DJ, rolled into emceeing and doing stand-up comedy, and back in the 80s, and worked a lot of cruise ships and colleges and corporate gigs and a lot of clubs, did a lot of touring, opening act for a lot of rock bands like Godsmack, Our Lady Peace, Stain, Fuel, Three Doors Down, and it was an amazing life. I made a ton of money, I met a ton of people, had a great time, but I've always had my thumb on the pulse of the internet. So I'm like an early adapter with the internet. And I always was like, man, how cool would the internet be if you could actually film your show and put that up? And over the years, it gradually got to the point to where we are now. So now that we're here, my ambition is to take all of those decades of comedy experience from writing and performing and touring and promoting and marketing, because you got to do all your own marketing, you got to do all your own promotion, you got to be your own agent, you're your own booker, you're your own tour manager, you got to do all that stuff. So I want to take all of that experience and create an online live stream experience about behind the scenes and in front of the scenes. And what's cool about what I'm doing is a lot of my friends, my alumnus, have gone on to write for the Conan O'Brien show, write for Letterman. Dave Chappelle used to open for me. Colin Quinn was one of the guys that I used to work with. Steve Sweeney, Al Ducharme, Tom Carter, all these guys who are on TV now doing all this great stuff. Darnell Rollins, who's on the Dave Chappelle show.
Right.
My friend Maya DeGiorgio, who I took you to see at the Improv. She's like doing a lot of big stuff. So all of these people are my friends of 10, 15, 20 years that want to participate in what I'm doing with my online comedy. They want to participate with what I'm doing with my documentary film. So now that the internet has caught up with my ambition, now it's just up to me to logistically pull together how I want to encapsulate all that and then distribute that online as I see fit.
Right.
And because I love performing, being a stand-up is my church, I'm always going to be close to that. I'm always going to have my own show, MC open mics, do tours, special guest spots, cruises, whatever. But I also like writing films, and I also like directing, and I also like acting. So I want to do all that in the mix with my comedic enterprise. So now is a super, super, super exciting time for me because I'm old enough to know what's up, what's down. I've been in the business long enough to have some really strong established relationships. Now I know how the game is played. You never know everything, so I'm still going to learn a lot, even going down this road. But it's a very, very exciting journey for me. It's a really, really super good time for me. And then to put the icing on top of that, I invented this sports watching game called the penalty game.
Yeah, which you played yesterday.
We played yesterday, Super Bowl, and my team was the Eagles. Go Eagles, fly Eagles, fly. And
but my team had less penalties.
How do you put up 600 offensive yards and lose? That's a record.
You guys did well.
Yeah, it was an amazing game, and I was really excited how fun people had with my game.
Yeah, they did.
They had a blast, and some of the penalties they wrote were really funny.
The funny thing was we didn't do the game through the whole show, right?
No, we just did the first quarter.
People kept coming up to me when you were packing stuff up, saying, "Was that a penalty? Was that a penalty?" And I just looked up and go, "Yep, it was against them."
Yeah, because you're not a big sports fan.
I'm not a big sports fan. Okay.
Well, that's what the game's for.
Right. People like me.
People like you. You don't know the teams. You don't know the rules. You don't know anything. All you know is you get a penalty, something cool happens, your friends got to buy you a drink, massage your shoulders, or you had a card. I pulled his card. He had me dancing around the bar like a pina colada. I didn't even know what a pina colada is, yo.
But he was dancing.
But I came up with a pina colada move.
Yeah, we did it. It was fun. It was really good.
So that's something I'm super excited about. I've got some sponsors interested in doing a national bar promotion.
That's awesome.
With that, so I'm pretty pumped. So I'm in a good place right now.
Good. I think I need to cut this off before it dies. So hold on. I'm just going to cut this off and start it again.
All right. This is really, really good.
Price is right.
Hats off to the chef. There's everything in the sea is in this. I've had shrimp, mussels, clams. I think there was some cod in there.
So this is what it looks like after it's done.
Calamari.
And that's what it looked like what he ate. And look at the face when he's eating it. Yeah.
This was like a serious seafood Italian dish. I mean, it was everything that was in the sea was in.
Well, this restaurant has a serious Zagat rating, and it has a serious 202 rating as well. And to its 4 pumps, okay, out of 4. Because I was eating the heart out of this damn pizza. Delicious pizza. I don't know what the heck. It started with a D.
Wow. So, tell us about your event tomorrow. You have something going on.
Oh, yeah. So, since I do come from the digital tech side of the house, tomorrow we're doing you're helping us, but we're doing a podcast of basically the Amazon experience. Meaning, Amazon has become this amazing application development platform in which companies can actually distribute all their assets in the cloud instead of having to buy them. So give me a classic example. Tomorrow we're going to be showcasing a technology solution we gave for a company in which the company had all their servers, we don't say why it happened, but all their servers are gone. We'll just say that. Okay? But we had all the backups since we're their tech company. We were managing their services for them. So we told them, I said, hey, instead of spending $100,000, instead of waiting a week to get all these servers up and licenses up, instead of your company being down for a week, why don't we just push it up to Amazon Cloud? So what we did is we saved them $100,000 within 24 hours, and then we got them up in the server, so now they're only paying about $2,000 a month for all the technology that would have cost them $100,000 easily to put together. Wow. So it's an amazing solution for them because actually there's 19 sites all over California, Mexico, the Middle East, and in South America. So they have 19, it's a big company. We were able to help them get their systems back up and operational within 24 hours. And more importantly, we're saving them thousands of dollars every month. So we're showcasing that. We're also showcasing some other solutions for techies so that they can actually do editing in the cloud, which means they have an edit server in the cloud, so that way they don't have to buy a huge, powerful editing server. They can actually do it right in the cloud.
That's cool.
So what we're doing as well as part of this whole project is we're showing them how much money they can save by going with these solutions. So, I'm a technologist. I'm an engineer. I did all this comedy stuff and all these kind of movies that we did just for fun because I just like to have fun. And as an extension of my creativity. So my real job has always been finding tech solutions for major companies. And tomorrow is going to showcase. We're actually going to be streaming it live and also right here on our channel. And also, we'll be able to see it in our podcast in the future. And we're going to be showing it on our website that I work for. The company I work for and helping this out is called ProLink Systems. And it's out of LA, Los Angeles here. And so I'm kind of excited about it. My boss is a little nervous.
Where and when is the event?
It's on the 30 in, what is that? I said today, it's funny, as I wrote
Sherman Oaks.
I wrote a email to all of our customers, and I wrote today, my boss stops me and he says, Mike, do you realize what you put on here? And he goes, I said, what? Sherwood Oaks. He goes, no, it's not Sherwood Forest. I'm like, I thought it was. Like, I thought it was Robin Hood, He said, we're stealing from the rich and giving to the poor. Okay, that's what us tech companies are doing. So I thought it was pretty funny. So I had to go back and redo the edit of the email. And then halfway through, I stopped and I said, forget it. I said, if they think it's Sherwood Forest, then they're going to come see a Robin Hood sequel. More power to them.
Nice.
Anyway, so we're excited. It's at 12 o'clock, and food is being served. And, we like to go to restaurants. So that's another good restaurant that has great food.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, I'm looking forward to that. That should be fun. Yep. We should do a tech talk here at some point because this is like a perfect place to do it.
This is actually a really nice place.
Yeah.
Because part of our tech talks is to be able to go to different places and talk about different technologies. Mm-hmm. And, I've been doing technology for, 40 years. I hate to say I'm that old, but I am. And so I used to work for a lot of huge companies, Microsoft, Weyerhaeuser, Sprint. I traveled the world doing this. And so, in fact, that's how I got into film. How I got into film was I used to test my networks with games and with films. So I would tell my tech guys, I would buy them a 6-pack of cooler at night and say, okay, test the networks. And in the morning, tell me how it worked. If it didn't work, fix the problem. So I would come home, I'd come back at 5:30 in the morning because I would take the morning shift. And they were like, the network's great, we fix X, Y, and Z, and thank you. And they would drive home. Okay? They didn't have Ubers back then. So, but nonetheless, they went home and they were safe. But that's how I got into the industry. I really started liking that side of the house. And so I started noticing when things start moving digital, I start moving with it and start setting up networks to do streaming platforms, etc. So that's how I got into it. So I'm really excited about doing that and talking shop.
So that kind of rolled into your passion.
Oh, yeah.
Column space.
Yeah.
With all that experience and all those trials and tribulations, got a chance for you to figure out, like, okay, see the future, see what YouTube is doing and seeing what the studios are doing and seeing what distribution's doing and Hulu and Netflix. And so tell us about Column space.
Column space. Well, many years ago, like I said, I used to work on these networks. And I built what we would call Netflix and Hulu back then. But I wasn't that. It was just a platform in which I would put things out in the server, and we would hit it with a lot of bandwidth. We would test different networks all over there, all depending on what company I worked for. I worked for Charles Schwab for a while, so we would set up networks at different places. And we would just test it by running videos, running games, just test the throughput. At the same time, it became like, wow, this is like a consumable product. And so at the time I built it, the first version I had, I called it Hub Chan, but I kind of just let it go because I didn't have any customers. You know, I was really ahead of the game. I was like 12, 14 years ago. I really didn't have customers. I mean, I had the technology. Then over the years, I did a lot of different things with it. I actually did a big product with Ticketmaster, and then they were bought by Live Nation, and I kind of changed that relationship, so I stopped that. Recently, I revamped Call Space now. I call it Call Space. And basically what that is a white labeled self-distribution platform for creatives, digital creatives. So I don't care what it is. Basically what we do is we have a management piece, so that way you can manage all your assets, what your digital assets are, whether it's film, whether it's a podcast like this, whether it's whatever it is, you know, YouTube-like products. And then what it's special about the tool...
Of course. Like a course, classes too?
Classes, workshops, anything you want. And that's a very valid point, because we help me work with a customer doing that currently. So the whole strategy with the platform, though, is this. As the different devices change, for example, our phones, right? That's a streaming device, right? When it gets down to it. We got our TV that's now become IPTV, which is actually a streaming device, right? We got YouTube Red, for example. You know, you can watch the football yesterday was sponsored by YouTube Red, a streaming platform. Okay, so the bottom line is this: a lot of TVs and a lot of productions are moving to a streaming platform. So Call Space is the antithesis of that. What it does is it provides smart-minded creatives who want to make a business out of streaming come to our platform, and they white label it themselves. Meaning, I don't want you to be called Call Space. I want you to be called Dog Is Great Channel.com, okay? Or I love the theater.com. And what you do is you use our platform to manage your assets, and then you allow people to subscribe or allow them to do whatever you want from there. If you want them to do it for free and you get ad dollars, then you can do that. So it's really what I call a white labeled self-distribution platform. So yeah,
that's cool. I'm excited to see where that goes, because I want to have the PodBrother on that all over the place, man.
All day, every day. Okay.
And I did a bunch of short films that got picked in the can short film corner. So
yeah, it's great.
Maybe we can throw some of those on there.
Of course, anything you want. Anything you want.
All right. Well, now that we destroyed this food, let's go back over here.
Okay.
And
wait, I'm still eating.
Okay. You can stay over there because we still have this camera on you. And thanks, Mike's. Mike's my official camera guy. I'm just gonna swing that back over to the. Oh, that's been on. Thank you, Mike. Actually, you know what? Can you swing it? Yeah, a little bit more. Right there, perfect. All right, good. Thank you, Mike. Mike's behind the scenes helping us out. We got to give him a cameraman credit. So, actually, you had. Is your presentation something that we can show, or is that something that you want to...
Well, they can come out tomorrow. They can actually come to other of our channels and they can see it. Right now, I prefer not people to see what we're doing.
Sure.
Only because people have actually paid to come to the event.
Yeah.
And although we're letting other people see it for free, that's live at the event.
Yeah. You know? Okay. That's cool. That makes sense. My live stream here never did kick off. I'm not sure why, but that's okay.
Somebody said wave. Oh, I'm here. I felt like, you know what, this background, I feel like I'm an E.T. somewhere. You know, I'm saying, E.T., come home. You know, I was in Hawaii, okay? I have to tell you the story. I was in Hawaii. And I was sitting there in North Beach, and I looked over to my friend, and I'm like, he goes, what? I said, is that where E.T. was filmed? Because that sure looks like that's where E.T. was filmed. He starts laughing. You're a dumbass. Of course it was. I'm like, oh, shit. Didn't have to swear. But you are. I'm like, okay, I guess I win.
It's funny. All right, so let's see. Where are we here?
Were you gonna talk to a friend, a music person?
Yes. We're gonna Skype her in, so I'm gonna finish up my Melody. How are you? I have to Don Johnson, Matt. I got to sign off here because we're gonna Skype our guest in, and so I will get back to you guys a little bit later. All right. So stand by. Stand by.
Oh, Mandy, my friend Mandy is here. Mandy, are you still here? So this is my friend. She's not there anymore. Hey, girl.
So you can entertain while I get our Skype guest up.
Let me entertain you. I don't know how to sing very well. Hold on, folks. Oh, that's funny. I didn't see her on there. Or did you need something with this?
No, why don't you use your laptop to set up your camera because I need to
Okay.
play with my just here somehow.
Yeah, that's good. All right. Oh, I'm sorry I missed her. We were busy talking. She around?
Well, you're
Yeah, I'm good.
show now
Oh, it's okay. Oh.
while I find her.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, she's there.
She didn't send me her Skype link. Okay, I'm gonna have to call her. Stand by.
So it's Angela Molino. Is that how you say it?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, I can hear you too. Okay, so we're going to Skype in. I don't have your Skype name, so
I've added you. I've added you on Skype, so if you're on there, you should see the contact request.
okay. Can you call me then? Call me on Skype
Yeah.
right now.
Okay. Okay, bye.
Okay. Okay, so she's going to call me on Skype.
We're using technology like it's supposed to be used. We're abusing it by doing many things at one time.
That's because we got skills, baby. Okay. Would have been nice to sign on, huh?
Yeah, we gotta sign on.
I thought I was.
I think she said that. She said you needed to sign on. I distinctly heard that.
I swear I was signed on earlier. I don't know how I got signed off. I'm in cable hell.
So for everybody, what we're doing is Kimbrough is signing on to have an interview with a young lady, pretty young lady, who does music, right?
Yeah.
And she's studying a new song lately. I saw her on iTunes. What's going on with that?
She's got albums, she's got songs, she's got videos, her own podcast, and she's doing a lot of cool stuff.
Kimbrough, you always have the hookup with the honeys here.
Well, you know, I gotta stay relative, and you gotta be dialed into the ladies.
Did I remember your password? Do you know every? But you know what? You're actually recording your password, my friend. So he's like turning the phone. No watch, and I'm like, okay, the camera is on your freaking phone. I actually see it right there.
Well, that's not live. That's just a monitor.
Yeah, but mine is, bitch. No, he's looking. That was a joke.
Yeah, see, you made me forget what I'm punching in. You can't talk to me while I'm doing this. You should be hosting the show. You should be saying...
I don't know what to say. I was letting you do something interesting. We were talking about Bitcoin earlier, just audience member. We were talking about how Bitcoin is going and how people are I don't know what they're doing. I call Bitcoin the people, the money of the currency of the people. That's what I think Bitcoin is. I think it's a way for people to take over and take back what the banks seem to be taking left and right. And I was talking about this earlier to somebody, and I was mentioning that I'm old enough to remember when there weren't bank fees that didn't cost you $35 a transaction. You know how that's gotten crazy? Remember that, Kimbrough? Back when the ATM machine, it cost you 10 cents to make a transaction. But before that happened, you still didn't get charged $35 for a check that you happened to bounce. You got a little bit of slap on your hand, but things have changed. Now, I find it fascinating how sometimes it seems like banks deposit your checks at the wrong time. Okay? They take everything out and deposit your checks, and you got 20 different bounce. Not that I've ever did that, but you had 20 bounce checks. $350 later, you don't even have a paycheck anymore. This is the problem. That is what the problem is. And this is why cryptocurrency is becoming so popular. It's becoming popular because people want to take control of their own destiny. They're tired of working hard every day, getting their check, going to the bank, then the bank taking their part. What's up with that? How does this work? You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, that's the real problem. And I think that's the antithesis behind why people are attracted to cryptocurrency. The banks are going crazy. The stock market crashed today, right? And so did the crypto markets. So what people have to recognize is that even though the cryptocurrency crashed, so did the banks crash, right? So that means they're like one and the same. You can't get away from it now. That's the fascinating part. As much as the banks want to stomp it,
Hola.
at the same token. Oh, no, we have our guest. Oh, here we go.
Hello.
I was on a banter. I was on a roll. Nice to meet you.
Yes, it does work that way. How awesome. Make sure she can see me.
Switch the camera to the young lady.
Okay. Am I on? You're on? Okay. Angela, how are you, love? She's drinking her wine. Look at her. She's all dialed in.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I can hear you too. That's a beautiful thing. Okay, so we are here with Angela. Let me go ahead and put you on the screen now so people can see who we have on the other line. First of all, thank you very much for joining us on Stick with the PodBrother podcast here at the El Picollo Verde in Brentwood. There you are. So, thank you for taking time to come and join us.
Thank you for having me as your pod sister.
You are my pod sister, and that's
Yay!
funny. That's funny that you say that because everybody who comes on my show, all the females and men who want to be females, are my pod sisters.
I'm not your pod sister.
You're not my pod. You're my pod brother. You're my pod old dude. You're my old dude pod brother. You're my pod grandfather.
Exactly, grandpapa.
You're the grandfather pod.
Just don't call me Poppy, okay?
All right, I won't call you Poppy. That's I seen that in the movie. I don't want to call you Poppy. So Angela, how are you, love?
I'm lovely.
You look
How
lovely.
are you? I can see some lovely trees in the background there.
Yes, our beautiful set. We went out of our way to create a very awesome set for our podcast. We spared no expense for you, our
Brilliant.
our Skyped in guest. So you are very, very talented. I got to tell you how I met this young lady. Okay.
Do tell.
All right. So I'm in Malibu at the Cafe Havana doing karaoke at Cindy Crawford's place. And you know, I'm no singer. We all know that, right? But I got a couple of go-tos. So I did my, James Brown and my Jungle Love, and I'm thinking I'm feeling good about myself. And then Angela gets up on the microphone and just wails the hell out of this song. I'm like, damn, girl, you a pro. You like...
Okay, there was some whiskey involved that night, I have to say, and it was full-on girls' night, wild soprano style. Time to like release and just like sing rather than be like properly like a proper performance, to be able to go in there and that crowd and that vibe. I could just like let my hair down and have some fun. Although I do think I may have cursed a little bit on the mic potentially.
Curse.
Like, is that allowed here? Am I going to get kicked out?
No, it's allowed. It's totally allowed because it's a place where you can go let your hair down, have a few drinks, and surf the edge a little bit, which is what you did. And from doing that, you put your best foot forward. You were like a 6-year-old girl having fun, singing in the rain, stomping in a puddle, not really caring who's watching, who's listening. You were just having like such a good time. And I was just like, man, I gotta have this girl on my podcast.
Yeah, sure did.
So, what was the song that you sang? Because it was really incredible. You did a couple songs, and you killed both of them.
I did the cover of a Jewel song, really, really beautiful ballad, "Foolish Games."
Mm-hmm.
It's a lovely, lovely song, and it's and it tells a story, right? Which the best ballads in the world do. So, and I just thought, because someone had sung a ballad before that, I thought, let's stay in the vibe. And let's let everybody, feel whatever their heart's feeling and think about whatever sadness they have about whatever person that they regret something with, or Valentine's Day is coming up. So I was like, now's the time. But I had to give the edge with the swearing, because I'm like, this is too sad. You don't want to get out the crying.
Valentine's Day. You just made me remember it is coming around the corner.
So, do you have a Valentine's, Angela? Are you Valentine-less this year, or is that why it's sad?
My two mothers are my Valentines this year.
Oh, okay. Well, can you throw two mothers and a PodBrother in there? Because I want to be in your Valentine. I think that's a movie. Two mothers and a PodBrother on Valentine's.
Yeah, right?
I think that's a comedy romance. Do we have a kiss scene, Angela? I don't know.
Or
I haven't read
tragedy.
the script. I haven't read the script. Do I die in the film?
I don't think the script has been written yet.
Is it? Okay. I think you and I should write a comedy romance where you sing in it, I do comedy, and it should be called Two Moms and a PodBrother Valentines.
As long as there's some whiskey involved, then I think it will be quite a good script.
Craft services, we need some whiskey over here. Pronto.
Yeah.
We need some whiskey. You do whiskey, I do vodka. Mike, what do you do?
Coke.
Coke. Okay.
Cola.
Coca-Cola.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you on the Coca-Cola. It's the best thing ever when it's mixed with alcohol, I have to say. Coca-Cola has been like my go-to fun drink. I almost died in a really, really horrific accident a couple years ago.
With Coca-Cola?
4 years now, to be exact, after a performance. And
oh my God!
No, I now drink Coca-Cola because it helps to keep me awake. So.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So tell us about this accident.
I recommend Coca-Cola.
You're not gonna walk away without telling us about this accident. I'm sorry, I heard.
Is it something that you can talk about, or does it trigger pain?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm really lucky to be alive, as are the other two people that were in the car, my friend who was driving and his friend. And I have started probably just in the last year incorporating it into what I write about. I'm writing a book about it, and the podcast that I started has a lot to do with my recovery journey after that accident. And it was one of those like life flashing before your eyes. Like I was convinced that those were the last seconds of my life when the car went flying off the highway.
Whoa.
And it changes your whole perspective on life and why we're here and what it's all about, and the whole idea of like being present. So to me, it's like singing, dancing, amazing people, and seeing other people doing what they love. It's like that's what it's all about, because we literally only have like this moment right here, right now.
Yeah, no.
Wow. That's amazing.
The past is gone and the future is not guaranteed. So the moment is real.
That's amazing. Yeah. I'm glad you made it. So now I wouldn't have met you.
So did that inspire your music moving forward? Did that like open a whole nother box of creative juices that allowed you to really dive into your work?
Well, it did in the sense that music became like, my writing and my performing became more like therapy than it ever was before. So instead of it just being something that I really loved to do, it became like I had to do it because it was part of almost like the therapy and the recovery journey. It took me about a year and a half after the accident to be able to start actually writing lyrics again, because that was just, my brain just couldn't connect, quickly enough to get the words that I needed.
Right.
Melody wise, like that part was easy, but it just gave me more of a sense of like, of a feeling of every single moment that I can be singing or dancing or connecting with people, I will take it. So yeah, it made me even more of a wild soprano in many respects.
Wow. Now and
also just the gratitude for the ability to be able to do it in the first place. Like that I'm alive, I can walk, I can still sing, I can talk. Like these are things that I probably just took for granted before the accident.
And you can dance too. I busted a dance move with you for like about 15 seconds. Before I even knew you, I was just walking through the dance floor and I was like, I'm going to bust a move with this girlie right now. And you were a good sport.
I know, yeah.
You're fun. You're like, hey, okay, bro, let's go with that. I got some moves too. So what? What you got? What you got?
No, right, exactly. Literally, if there had been a chandelier in that place,
you would have been swinging?
Nice. Off of it.
I would have caught you. If you want to do the swing and release, I would have caught you.
Oh yeah, and my friend Katerina had her proper like Dirty Dancing gear on that night too.
Yeah, so she was.
We done like the lift and everything.
And she was dirty dancing.
Was she?
Yes.
Did I miss that?
I think you missed it, but she was busting some dirty dancing moves out there. I saw it.
Amazing. I love it.
Now you text me your website, which is very elegant, cool, clean, sexy. Mike, can you pull up a browser and tell us what your website is and kind of walk us through it a little bit? I know you've got like some cool things on there, and we got a pretty high-tech system set up here, so we can have you Skyping, okay? We can have me on the mic, and we can have Mike pulling up your website, which we're going to do here in a second.
Don't do it yet. Yeah. I have my other stuff.
So are you working on any live shows right now? You said you had your podcast. What's your podcast about?
So my podcast is called The Art of Inspiration with myself, with Angela Molyneux. And I basically interview really inspiring creative entrepreneurs and artists sort of around the globe that are doing incredible things with their businesses. And I don't just ask about, what makes them successful or what have they done, but I ask them like, how do you find balance in your life? Like your personal life, the life of like your heart, your spirit, your family, plus everything that you're doing, the work you're doing. And I ask them like, what's the key to happiness? What inspires you? So I really try to get at like the nuts and bolts of the people that inspire me that are doing amazing things around the world. And whether it's in business or tech or music or film, whatever it is, I just felt like for a long time after the accident, it was like I was sitting watching the world go by, and I couldn't participate the same way in life as I had before my accident. And then I noticed that I'm so blessed and lucky to have all these amazing people around the world that I know doing wonderful things. I'm like, I want to talk to them and I want to share their stories with people to inspire others, because they inspired me, especially throughout my recovery journey. So I set it up, and let me tell you, it's not as easy as it seems to do a podcast.
I know it's not.
Like all the tech stuff, like everything. It was like it took a minute for me to get my head around it, but it's been great, and like just some lovely interviews. A couple of them I do just myself, and I do creative visualization exercises or talk people through meditation. I guess what it is that I feel like I want to try to share my journey and the lessons that I learned from the accident, just my experience of being an artist on this planet, in the hopes that my journey will somehow inspire somebody else along their journey, because we're all in this together. You know?
Nice. So tell us what your website is, so we can go to your website and you can walk us through.
My website is AngelaMolyneux.com. So it's MOLINEUX. And I've got a link to iTunes there for my EP, which I released several years ago. And there's one song in English on there.
Angela, can you spell your last name again a little slower so Mike can type it in here?
It's Angela. And then MOL.
EUX.com?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to
So on the
there it is. Wow. Look at you. Yeah. You're so photogenic. You're so cute. And blue is...
No, it's just good editing. I'm actually really shit on camera. Like for still camera. I am. I'm just one of those people. Everyone thinks it's not true. It's really not true. I just get some good editing.
Okay, so walk us through here. You said you've got a couple of your okay, we can see your podcast. That's cool. And your latest news.
Yeah.
This is a really cool, clean, elegant website. I was very impressed when I first saw it. And
thanks, Bandzoogle. They're amazing.
Yeah.
They've got amazing templates.
Yeah.
They're brilliant.
Yeah, this is really, really cool. And then you said you have some sponsors for your podcast and your shows, or you've got skincare company that kind of takes care of your beautiful skin?
There's a skincare company that I am doing some endorsement for at the moment, who I discovered, and they're just amazing. I'll show you here the product. It's called Wrinkle Effacer, and you can get it on Amazon. So basically, this stuff is like Wonder Cream. So I had the misfortune of being born with hereditary. I get dark circles under my eyes, and no concealer in the world. All the hair and makeup people that I've worked with, no one can cover it. But I finally found this stuff, and it's gone, and it takes away fine lines, all that kind of stuff, and it's brilliant because you don't have to use concealer. And women wear this stuff without makeup, and they just put this on, and it's instant coverage for lines. I mean, men can use it too, but yeah. So I love this stuff. I love this product, and happy to spread the word and get it out there what they're up to.
Sweet.
Because there's a lot of really shit products out there that don't work. So it's always really exciting, especially as a woman, when you find something you like. And as women, we tend to find products that we like, and then we have them. We use them forever.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to embrace the bags under my eyes because it just shows that I'm like an old dude hanging on. But
young at heart, though. Steve.
Young at heart is correct. I am young at heart, and I'm fun. They say women, say you only really need a good sense of humor anyway, because it doesn't matter how you look. If you've got a good sense of humor, then you can win a lady's heart. That's what I've been told.
I think that's true. I think charm goes a long way, because at the end of the day, personality is more important than looks anyway, right?
I think so.
What have you got to bring to the table? Well, think about it. When you're in your, you're in your 70s, you're in your 80s, 90s. You want to be sat on a front porch with someone who has something to say or can make you laugh. It doesn't matter if they've got abs or abs of steel, or if they're really attractive and if they have hair or not. We don't care about those things at that age.
What if I have abs of steel and hair and I'm funny and I'm 90 on the porch? Are you still down?
Then I have a feeling you're not going to be on that porch by yourself.
No.
These ladies probably on that porch with you.
You're going to be on there with me because I'm going to keep you laughing for a lifetime. Knock, knock. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Two mothers and a PodBrother. Happy Valentine's Day.
You're going to work that angle.
That's a callback. In comedy, Angela, we call that a callback.
Yeah, or something.
But I'd have to ask my mothers if they'd be happy to be in the song. I imagine one of them will want some rock and roll, one of them will want some classical strings, and then I'll want some rap in there. So I don't know what kind of combo that's going to be. Well,
maybe it's got a little bit of everything. Tell us about your genres of music, your style, your composition. What do you like to do?
Fundamentally, I'm a trained opera singer. So my background is classical. I kind of left the opera world behind a number of years ago when I decided that writing was kind of becoming more important to me than just technically being an amazing soprano or singer. And so it's trying to find a way to kind of go into both of those worlds. And I had written in a lot of different genres, but the one that kind of felt like home to me, at least for the EP, was more, I guess you'd call it like contemporary classical or classical crossover is what essentially the EP is. Mm-hmm. Although one of the songs is one of the French songs is very like it's a pop tune, but it's in French. But I do a lot of crazy, C sharps and stuff like that in the chorus. So it's fun and it's different. And my intention with that EP was just to not really be put in a box, because I didn't know anyone doing what I was doing at that time. Or even now, like with these pieces, because I wanted to create new pieces. Like I love soundtracks, I love Gladiator, I love anything that's like overly dramatic. As an opera singer, I'm like, tug at my heartstrings. Like I want to hear the violins, the violas, like I want all of that, because it moves me when I'm writing, because all of a sudden I feel the emotion. And so then it's really easy for me to tap into, like as a songwriter, to tell a story, because I'm already so moved, Wow. So it's all that kind of like over the top dramatic, it's like the end of the world type of stuff, right? Or like your lover has just cheated on you and now like you killed them with a dagger and then you want to kill yourself. Like to me, I'm just like, oh, the drama. I love the drama.
Romeo and Juliet.
Exactly. So with the EP, 2 of the songs are in Latin. I wrote the lyrics in English first, then translated them into Latin. I don't actually speak Latin, but I do sing in several different languages. Obviously, as an opera singer, you have to. And I just felt like it was more romantic to be able to, and also sing up the scale when you, like with vowel sounds, if it's like a hard consonant, it doesn't sound as good, like a T or an I, right? Mm-hmm. But like a large, like a G, it's just like, it just flows as soon as you have the vowel.
Wow, that just came out of you. That was like... Yeah.
Can you do that again and this time move your mouth?
I know, it looked like a tranquiliquist.
I was like, say what? Where'd that come from?
Now, do you play...
Did you say ventriloquist or did you say tranquilogist?
Wait, trans? Wait.
No, she totally, you can't get anything by her, because I was trying to say...
By? Is that the two mothers again?
She caught it all. No, I was trying to say ventriloquist, but it came out tranquilogist. Yeah,
You know what? We may have come up with a new word right there.
Yeah,
tranquilogist is someone who puts you in a trance. Like check out that tranquilogist.
Or it's 2 dudes.
I made up a word trying to say a word that I can't say, and she like caught it like that. You're hysterical. You're awesome. Do you play instruments as well?
Dictionary was invented,
You play instruments as well as sing?
Oh. I mean, I use piano. I use piano or keys, like when I'm writing, just as far as like melody or chords, just or to note bash if I'm learning an aria or something. But I'm actually like not a proficient player. I begged my parents for piano over and over again when I was a kid, but they're like, we can't afford it. It's just not happening. So we'd go over to my relatives' houses and they would have pianos, and they would have to like pry me off of the thing as I was like teaching myself how to play. And then I got a little older and got like just a basic kind of little keyboard and taught myself how to play a few things. But I think because my instrument has always been my voice from such a young age, that I use that more than anything. And I would like to learn how to play piano a lot better, and I wouldn't mind picking up the guitar. I did start to play when I was in university, but then I didn't want to cut my nails to learn how to play the guitar.
Priorities, babe.
And I'm a student, right? Like, who cares about your nails when you're in class?
Right.
You're, like, writing an exam or you're learning. Is anyone really... I'm sure my professors were like, oh, she's got her hand up. She has something to say, but look at her nails. I'm not going to talk to her. Really?
That's funny.
That was the thing that was in my head at the time. So, the silly things we do when we're kids.
Well, listen, I could go for hours with you. I want to have you here, like, at the set at some point. We're going to be here next Sunday. Are you free next Sunday evening?
Sunday, I'll check and I'll get back to you.
Okay, because I want to have you. I want you to be a regular on my show, and I want to showcase your music and what you're doing and what's going on. Like, I'm your biggest fan now.
Oh, thanks, Steve. Likewise. And then you're going to turn me into, like, the wild soprano comedian.
Yeah, I could do that. I'd make you the funniest soprano on the West Coast.
No, I actually do. It's when I have at least 2 shots of whiskey, I do actually get kind of funny. I have friends that say that they're like, you're actually really funny when you've had a bit of whiskey, but otherwise they're like, it's not very funny.
You should take my comedy workshop. I could give you a solid 3 minutes, and then with your music, you'll be a smash.
It would be fun. It'd be fun. I mean, having comedy and a sense of humor is like, it's important. It's a tool to get through life, right?
Yeah. So give us your website again, because we're gonna check out here. I think they're trying to pack up and get out of here. So what's your website again?
So it's Angela Molyneux.com, and so it's MOLINEUX.com. And there's a link to iTunes if you want to check out the EP, and also the podcast. There's a link on my website too for the podcast.
I want to be on your podcast.
I'd love to have you on my podcast.
Yeah, and when's the next time you're producing yours? When's the next time you're doing yours?
I was doing them weekly when I first launched, but then I got really busy with my writing schedule, meetings, and the book, everything else. So I've now scaled it back to once a month. So I'm releasing one tomorrow, and then the next one will be in March.
You should have me produce your podcast. You should have me produce your podcast.
And does that mean you do the editing as well? Because it takes a long time.
I know what I'm doing. I got skills. I may not be able to sing opera and hit those high notes when I'm doing James Brown, but I know how to produce a podcast, baby.
I can teach you how to hit some of those high notes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's start some dialogue on that around the corner. But I'm very thankful and grateful that you were able to come on to the PodBrother show tonight. Thank you very much. And we are going to keep you in the loop, and we're going to keep you involved. All things cool, all things funny, and all things sexy. Are you going to be back at Malibu next week? Because I plan on going back.
Probably not next week, but potentially later this month.
Okay.
I don't get to go out and have girls' night and dance as much as I like to, because I've taken on a little too much in this country. So
okay.
Yeah.
How long are you going to be here for? Are you a short stay, long stay? What's your schedule?
Well, that just depends. I'm in the process of renewing my visa right now.
Okay.
So hopefully that should all be fine, and then I'll be here for at least another year.
All right.
At least, but a little bit of back and forth between here and London.
Well, if you need a letter, an official letter from the PodBrother to validate or verify, I will do that for you, baby.
I like that. Validation, verification, it's a good process.
I will rock that for you.
Love that.
All right.
You.
Well, thanks a lot, and I will keep you in the loop, and we're going to have this up probably sometime tonight,
Okay.
and I'll send you the link when we're up.
Great. Thank you so much for having me.
All right.
Nice
Thanks,
meeting
Angela.
you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Ciao. All right.
You should end up here, too. Okay, we're going to sign off, yeah? Are we signing off?
Yeah. We're going to sign off because it's
They
getting
took our plates already, so I think they said we're done.
Yeah, and they got the chairs stacked up.
They're stacking up. They're just waiting for us.
And Mike's falling asleep over there, so, it's time to...
The cooks are staring at us behind the counter like, get these guys out of here.
So let's recap how we can find each other. Where can we find you? So like tomorrow we got the noon event, and then
tomorrow
on the weekends,
we
got some open mics, and then Sunday we're back here for our open mic podcast. Give us a rundown of what's coming up here now.
Yeah, well, tomorrow we have this little event that we're doing in the afternoon. And then tomorrow evening, we're going to go do some comedy.
Where's that at, that event?
Oh, that event's in Sherman Oaks, not Sherwood.
Sherman Oaks.
Sherman Oaks. And it's on the 30. And then tomorrow we'll go up to the West Side Comedy Club and do some comedy tomorrow night. And then what else do we have going on? We have some...
Friday night is the improv open mic.
Open mic. Improv.
That was fun last week.
Yeah, sure
man. I bit the bullet. Finally got up, man. That lotto thing, man. You don't get picked all the time.
Yeah, you went up first, and you actually did a great job, and people were clapping, and I was laughing, and it was great.
I wasn't expecting to go first. I was still trying to put together my list of material I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then when I called my name, that was out the window, and I was just like, I went up there just snatching stuff out of my head that... It was all new stuff, but still, it was fun.
And then Sunday, we come back and we'll be here.
Sunday, we're here, yeah.
Yeah,
And it's Saturday is the Improv open mic, right?
Right. No, it's West Side.
West Side. Okay, so
Right.
Friday Improv, West Side Saturday, and then here on Sunday.
Yeah, usually we do Tuesday, but we can't do Tuesday this Tuesday.
Yeah, because we got a meeting.
We have a meeting.
Yeah.
Then we'll head over to the other one.
We're building the California Acupuncture College website, which we're going to launch in a couple
Which
days.
streams on Column Space.
Yeah, which streams on Column Space.
So that is kind of a fun project because this is the first example of using Column Space in the educational world.
Yeah.
So actually people will be able to log in and be able to do acupuncture classes and stream them and pay for them and learn and get their certificates so they can keep their accreditations.
It's actually an OMD, so you have to be a licensed acupuncture to even take this class because it's a doctorate, a doctoral. So
and so the whole project with Column Space is not to make it. We're not trying to make Column Space your product. What we're trying to do is make your product better with Column Space.
There you go.
Okay, that's the difference between all these other platforms. Facebook and YouTube. You're making their platform better. Okay, I'm not really interested in that. I want your platform to be amazing.
Right.
So, anyways.
Well, cool. So you can catch me at podbrother.com. Stick with the podbrother.com. I am also working on my documentary film called Stick with the PodBrother, and you're working on the Ed Asner film.
Ed Asner, and the movie is called The Tiger.
The Tiger.
Within. And we'll be filming that in June, and then in September, hopefully, we'll get to these festivals and people will be able to see it. We're actually doing a fundraiser coming up here in the next couple of weeks. We're going to do an interview with Ed Asner to talk about the product and to get people excited and jump on board and become a funder with us.
Nice. And I'm going to be playing the penalty game, probably back at Rocco's Tavern again.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was
really
fun. And football's over, but we can play it with basketball. We can play it with golf. We can play it with baseball. We can play it with hockey. So it's a real cool game. We can play with basically any sport. We can play it with curling, ice curling.
And remember the $6 specials.
$6 specials. Margaritas and Bloody Mary.
No, and then we added pina colada.
We added pina colada. The bartender was like, damn, we know we're not making pina colada for us. I guess we have to now.
Did you see that table next to us? Got all the pina coladas? I felt kind of guilty. But not really. Okay.
We manufactured a special on the spot.
That's what we do.
The bartender's like, no pina coladas for $6. Who said that? We're in the corner going, pina coladas, $6.
All right. Okay, we should cut this off before they kick us out.
Okay. We're out of here. All right.
You're nice meeting everybody. Pina. And Michael Pina. That's how you say it. Pina. Pina.
And I'm the Pod Brother. Thanks, guys.
Peace out.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Bye-bye.